Well, I kind of got me a last minute camp going here. Just kind of spur of the moment type deal. And got dropped off about a mile down the foothills down here, and then I'm heading up this way, westerly up this canyon here. And I'm gonna go wander around up in there, make a camp here, or maybe a couple of them, I don't know, and kind of wander around, see what's going on. Just starting into springtime, so nice time to do a spring camp. I think I'm going to set up my camp back in here. I'll try to put my poncho up as a hammock between these two junipers. And the sun's gone down already, and so I think I'll get that kind of set up and maybe get a little fire going for dinner and just kind of kick back and relax. And that's west, that direction. So I kind of like this spot here because this will get the first morning light will be coming in here. So I won't be shaded by any ridges or anything right in here. So I think this will be a nice little spot. And it's not down in the bottom of the canyon there, the bottom of the wash and all that. So I'm kind of up out of that a little ways. So I think this will be a good spot for me. All right, so I've come in here now, and whenever I'm in the junipers, I like to clear out a lot of the little dead twigs and stuff. I call them eyeball pokers. You know, you get up to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night and poke your eye out. So I've kind of cleared that dead debris out of here to give me a nice clear shot and make it convenient getting in and out without having to go through a bunch of dead growth and everything. All right, so I've got my hammock set up, my poncho set up as a hammock. This is a PSSL, the long poncho. So I tied off to the tree there, tied off to this one over here. I had to clean out some of the debris in there, so I had a nice clear area. Alright, so I'm good to go here now. Got my poncho, my PSSL, the long poncho, set up as a hammock between two juniper trees. I've got my PS personal survival blanket inside of here. I'm using the large size, which is 7 feet by 8 feet. And I've got it folded in thirds, so I have 2/3 on the bottom, 1/3 on the top over me. And now this one you'll see is OD green on the inside, multicam on the outside. And so we call that a personal survival blanket. If it was camo on both sides, we'd call it a personal concealment blanket. But anyway, so now my bedding is set up, ready to go. Now I'll get me a little fire going so I can cook me a little meal here and kind of kick around and relax after the hike up the canyon here. And we'll see what we can do here tonight. Have a little good time. Well, here I built sort of a teepee, kind of a half teepee kind of fire lay here. I've got a little bit of bark that I found. Most everything up here is wet or damp because of quite a bit of rain and moisture in the previous week, but we got the best we could right here. It was easy to get. I've got my concentrator paper and about a BB size pile of magnesium shavings there that I just struck off with my Doan magnesium bar, and that white hot little bit of magnesium there helped to really ignite everything quickly. But you can see with all the smoke and everything, You know, there's a lot of moisture to kind of burn off of this stuff, but with that TP method, you know, it starts drying all the other damp wood and stuff like that, everything that's above it that's in the flame. So you know, it's a good method to use for that. And so I'm just gonna mainly get finger-sized, inch-sized diameter wood here, so I can build me a bed of coals to cook on here. Well, just relaxing, waiting for the coals to develop in the fire. I take the coals and scrape those together in my cooking area and cook me a little bit of dinner. And I even made apple pie on a stick, an apple roasted with cinnamon and sugar. Delicious. Now time to relax. Well, time to get up, I guess. Well, I set up last night in my hammock, and then, well, late morning, well, I guess about 4 o'clock in the morning it started raining, and I didn't bother to bring a tarp with me, so I took my hammock down and I folded it in half lengthwise, kind of like you see here, and then I put my personal survival blanket, my PSB, and folded it and put it inside of there, kind of like I've got right here. And I just laid it back just underneath where my hammock was pitched before. Right here between this juniper and this one over here was my hammock, and then I took that down, and if you're familiar with juniper areas, the debris that falls off the juniper trees builds up usually a pretty nice soft bed of debris and that sort of thing. So then I made my bed right in there, and then I decided to resurrect my fire from last night. I had a nice bank of coals, and I had gathered plenty of firewood, so I just threw a few pieces on there, and then until I could get a couple logs on there, and I got my fire going. I thought, well, you know, just in case it, you know, gets pretty wet, at least my fire will be going for a few hours. I can crawl back in bed and sleep for a couple more hours. So I decided I dragged my bedding out around here. I'm about 15 or so feet from the fire, just so I kind of keep an eye on it if I needed to. And I didn't need to be close to the fire to be warm, 'cause I'm plenty warm with this, but I just you know, you don't want to get like a down bag or any of this kind of stuff right next to a fire anyway. You don't want to, you know, melt it or get a hole in it from stuff popping out of the fire. But anyway, this worked nice. I slept for a couple hours after I got the fire going, and the nice thing about this blanket now is I don't care. I even have my boots on inside. I got my boots on in there. It doesn't really matter. I mean, the stuff's pretty tough, you know. I don't worry about throwing it out on the ground. I don't worry. I mean, even my poncho that I use as a hammock, I don't even think twice about throwing it on the ground. You know, I don't care. I mean, it's good. I haven't ever ruined anything doing that. You know, it's all tough and works good. So I just so when I got everything kind of arranged, I just left all my clothes on and just popped into here and went back to sleep. You know, and I'm good and comfortable. In fact, I don't really want to get out because it's a little colder outside than it is down inside of there. But one of the nice things about that blanket is it does have the fabric is very breathable, so So the thing is, if you happen to be wet, or I get right clear down inside of it, so I'm breathing inside of it, but that moisture just kind of passes through there because everything is breathable. And so it doesn't really matter. You know, I got some of it came out from underneath the poncho that I had over it for a tarp, because I had it kind of underneath and over. And I'm on a little bit of a slope here, so I kind of slid out of it a little bit, but it doesn't really matter if it gets a little wet. I mean, it's still plenty warm, so that's not an issue. So that's another thing I like about it. You know, it's tough, it's very adaptable, it's warm when it's moist or wet, and you know, and it's tough. I don't have to baby it or anything, or worry, oh, I'm gonna ruin it if I do this or that with it. I just throw it down wherever and I just use it. It doesn't matter. It's no big deal. I absolutely love, I don't go anywhere without my poncho, my PSS. And we call it PSS because it means personal survival shelter, because it's more than just a poncho. Most people think of it as a poncho, but I use it more as a hammock or a tarp than I do a poncho myself. But you know, but I use it for all that. But and then my blanket, my personal survival blanket, that thing there, I absolutely love that thing. I was so nice and toasty warm in that, and even though, you know, some rain got on it and that sort of thing, I mean, it got a little damp, but still nice and warm inside of there and cozy. And I can, you know, I can make it I make it any shape or size or whatever the heck I want. Just by however I fold it. So my fire's going good here, and looks like the sky's cleared off. Our storm has passed by, and so we just got a little. At one point during the night we had about 1 inch of snow, and then it kind of turned back to rain, and it all went away, and then it turned back to a little bit of snow, and then some snow granules, and so there's just a little dusting is all that's left of all that. But I think I'm going to go ahead and get me some breakfast going here now. I got my fire going and everything, and sun's coming up over the ridge out there to the east. So we'll really need all that on right now. So we'll go ahead and get some breakfast going here. I'll show you a little something I do here. I got a big water bladder inside my pack, and what I do sometimes when I go out is I pull my hose, my tube, out of the port that it goes to my shoulder strap, and I let it hang down here, and then I suck on it a little bit so I got water down here, so it makes a siphon. And then I can get water out of it now right here, and I can do that. I don't have to really carry another bottle with me or whatever. I can have me a pretty good size water bladder deal there, and then it's easy. Once you got to suck a little on this thing so that it gets water down here, so it's lower than your water bladder is, so you can have a siphon. You have suction for a siphon. Once you got it down there, you're good to go. Now anytime I need water, that's all I got to do. Got my own little dispenser there. Alright, I'm going to get me a little water going here for some 9-grain granola type hot cereal. I'll show you something else that I do that I like. Now I've dragged some of these hot coals out of the fire back here behind me, put them between these two rocks right here, and then let me show you how I like to cook a lot if I'm out. It's like if I'm already going to have a fire anyway, I don't really normally bother with having a stove. So what I got here is, we call these cooking sticks, and it's just, they're bent so they stay together, and it forms a V. Then you just take your pot or your cup or whatever. This is a smaller size. We made some big ones for big pots. But now all you do is you just rake some coals under there like I did. That'll soon have that water nice and hot. And the nice thing about it is I'm not putting my cup in the flames and everything, and you don't get it all sooty and all that sort of thing, because I'm cooking straight with coals. And the nice thing also when you do that is, if you're cooking, I'm just boiling water here right now, but you find that you're not burning stuff and that like you would if you have flames and that sort of thing. So it works really nice. And these things are only, these particular ones right here are aluminum, and they're only, I don't know, 3 or 4 ounces, a few ounces or something, and they work very good. And as you can see, these are big enough. If I pulled my stones a little farther apart, I could put another cup over on that side, so I could cook two things at one time on here if I wanted to. And the nice thing about cooking with coals, like I say, I don't have to worry about burning stuff as much. And all you do is, as time goes on, I just shove some of these coals out the other side as they cool down and pull some fresh ones in. So I keep the fire going kind of back out of the way a foot or two, and then I just drag out coals as needed to keep that going, and works really nice. So anyway, that's what I'm doing here this morning. Just thought I'd clue you in for whatever it's worth. Maybe nothing. I don't care. I'm having fun. I'm loving it. It's going to be a great day. I don't know if you've seen some of my other videos, I like to pre-package a lot of my stuff into these little various sizes of Ziploc baggies. And this is a 9-grain cereal, and I've already put, this is 1 serving size I already measured out, and I've got salt in here, and I've also got some sugar in here. So everything I need is all pre-packaged into there. And so all I've got to do is, my water there is steaming now, so I just dump that into there and let it cook. I'll add some cereal. We're using our Cookin Sticks here, and in the other one I can cook 2 cups at one time here. On this set, this is kind of a smaller set of Cookin Sticks. And we just been monkeying around. We got a bender in our shop, so we bent these things up. But then the other cup over there, I'm gonna make me some hot tea or something. I don't know, whatever I decide. So anyway, just kind of monkeying around camp here a little bit, and get a little bit of breakfast going. Our cereal's looking good. That's about ready. I think it's about softened up all that cracked wheat and everything there, the granolas. So I'm pretty darn close to ready to eat here now. Cooking on them Cookin Sticks. I like those little things actually. Well, looks like I found me a little bit of some hot chocolate here. So I guess that's what I'll have. Looks like my bag has sprung a leak, so I better be drinking that up right now. Because it's gone. So now I just take my cup off of there, and I'm pretty good to go here. Time for breakfast. Cereal and hot chocolate. Nothing wrong with that. Well, one thing nice about this PSB, our personal survival blanket, is It's made out of all nylon and polyurethane foam as the insulator, and everything is breathable. It's water resistant, but it's breathable. And the nice thing about it is it doesn't like to hang on to water. So, you know, it got a little bit damp, which really isn't a problem. I could pack it up like this and go, and it'll kind of self-dry while I'm sleeping in it. But one of the things I can do is I can throw it over a branch in a tree, and the sun's out here. We got a clearing here, and I think it might turn out to be a pretty good day. So I just leave it out here for, you know, 15-20 minutes. It'll be pretty well dried off. So I'm just gonna not worried about being too neat, but just get it up there a little bit. We're good to go. And then the poncho, you notice this is our hammock and our poncho, and normally they tell you like hammocks don't let them touch the ground. Actually, you notice I kind of been walking on this thing. I don't know. Excuse me. Sometimes I'm not too kind to my gear, but hey, it still works. What the heck? Now this one got a little more wet because it was right on the ground, and it was my kind of acting as my tarp. So obviously it's going to be a little wetter, but like I say, this stuff will dry very quickly. And I have in the past, I could tuck it away like that and go on my way, and you know, it'll still be all right. It's not like it's gonna mildew or anything. Well, I'm gonna get ready to go on a little scout around here. See, this is about as far up this canyon as I've been before, so guess I'll go on up. One thing I want to show you is I like to tie these overhand knots as a stopper knot in my boot laces. And then my laces can't pull out of the eyelets and everything. The nice thing, if I'm just kicking around camp or in the night, I can leave everything loose to slide them off and on real easy. And when I get ready to go, you know, it's a simple matter of pulling everything up and tying it down. I just pull that right through there. Anyway, just a little tip. Maybe worthless, maybe not. Siesta time here. Kind of a steep climb up through here. Get up on the ridge line and gets a little chilly with the breeze. So this kind of looked nice right here. The sun hitting on this rock right here, and nice and warm, and it's got about the right slant to it. So I think it's time to take just, you know, about 15 minutes and take a little breather. What the heck? Gonna give me a little bit of water here. You know, contrary to popular opinion, it doesn't hurt you a single bit to eat snow to get water. I've done it all my life, never had a problem. Now, there is, I guess, a right and wrong way to do it. If you get up here and you start eating this stuff like you're eating your bowl of Cheerios in the morning, or you're up there mashing it into your face and your mouth like that and eating it by the handfuls, well, the ice crystals in the snow, and this is mostly ice now here, but they can be sharp, and they're obviously cold, and your lips are out exposed, so you start putting sharp glass-like objects against your cold lips. Why, yeah, you can injure your lips. You can cut them up and make them bleed and stuff. But if you take snow, if it's loose snow, pack it in your hand a little bit so it's kind of a lump of snow, put it in your mouth and suck on it, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that whatsoever. It won't make you hypothermic. It won't, it won't injure you. It's not going to hurt your mouth, whatever. I mean, you can tell when you've done too much, so, you just do a little at a time according as you can tell, But I just take a chunk like this. Just put it in my mouth and just let it melt. Stock up on a little bit here and I'll be good to go. So, if you're out and you've run out of water or whatever, don't think, oh, I can't eat snow because that's going to kill me. It's not. Don't worry about it. Eat away. Bon appetit. Well, here we are on up the mountain as far as I'm going up today. Starting to get into too much snow to be worth fighting through the thick brush. There's Mount Timpanogos over there, and back over in here is Lone Peak, and the lake down there, Utah Lake. And it's a nice pretty day to be out here. Hey, shed hunter extraordinaire here. That's me. Look at that. Found me a spike. You gotta have a little humor when you're out in the outdoors to kind of keep it light. You gotta have fun out here. Anyway, resuming the journey. Oh yeah. I love the snow, man. Great. Well, I made it back from my exploration, my little hike roundabout there. Been gone several hours, and since I'm up camping and I can do my own thing, all my gear that was a little damp or whatever is all dry. The breeze has dried it out. I think I'm going to set the poncho up as a swinging hammock chair, and I might take me a little nap for a little bit, kick my boots off and relax, then get me something to eat. So here we go. Alright, so this swinging hammock chair took me about 5 minutes to set up from taking it down from, when I had it drying in the tree. And we did make, we've got videos on how to make this. I won't go into a lot of detail, but basically you just choose an end. I chose to put the foot end up here, and you just run the cord through it just like you're doing a hammock, and you pitch it off a little bit higher up in the tree so you get a little more elevation here. And then all I've done is folded this under and back through on both sides, and then the bottom end right here, we just take the tab that's on that end, and I usually have some cord left over from when I hooked the hood, And so all we do is just tie off there, and on both sides try to get about even. Then we get a stick, and about 4 feet wide or long or whatever is about right. I debarked it, made sure there's no sharp points or anything like that, and then just tie a cord from here, go around the limb of the tree over there, just out and back, tie that off there. And what you do, you just, this cord here, if I pull on it more, it'll make it go up more and be more of a recliner, and if I let it down a little more, it'll be more of an upright. And I think right there will be good for me. I like to make sure this tarp, or this poncho, is almost 5 feet wide, so I'm not trying to go 5 feet out. So what I do is I just make sure my edges of my poncho are out here on the outside, and then I just kind of work most of the slack that's in here more towards the middle. Then when I sit down, I'll kind of sit down into it. So basically this is how we do it. And I haven't even done a trial sitting yet, so. And actually, that is pretty darn good. And I usually just put my feet up on the cords like this and just let it swing. Sometimes I'll take another stick and put across just about where my ankles would be right there, and just lay my feet on that. But most of the time I just do this because it's easy. So here we are. I mean, so we used this as a poncho, we used it as a hammock, we used it as a tarp, and now we're using it as a swinging hammock chair to take a nap in. So we got all those uses we used just on this trip alone. Yeah, that's why I don't ever go without taking my poncho with me, because I've always got some way I'm going to use it. I'm going to get up now. I'm probably going to grab my PSB survival blanket and wrap around me and lay back in here and take a nap, because even though the sun's out, I'm in the shade here, and it's still not exactly warm out here. There's still snow patches up here, and so that breeze is a little on the cool side. Anyway, I'll take a snooze. We'll come back and in a little bit here, and probably make some lunch, mess around a little bit, and then probably sometime after that I'll head on back towards civilization. Long as you're not dragging on the ground, it's okay. So there we go. Side over there. That side there. Oh yeah, this is the life, let me tell you.